go away. All the work will go away in one way or another. Some of it as part of intrinsic to the piece. Some of it will just degrade. Some of it will be divided up and recycled in other ways. For example, the artist from France created a bronze that will be melted down and cast into another bronze at the end of the show. So that is ephemeral very much by design. Piero Golia's work, his jump, is completely embedded in the architecture of the show. So when the architecture is no more, the piece will be gone. Nora Naranjo Morse and her daughter and niece created work all out of Adobe mud, which will wash away and degrade by the end of the show. So different ones of the pieces will disappear in their own way. Well, the flour mill is a very interesting case because we're all hoping it will have some kind of afterlife and won't be just chucked. The flour mill was made on land that's owned by the state museums, and there are all sorts of different possibilities for it. It could become a gardener's shed. It could become a sort of information station of one kind or another. The Secretary for Cultural Affairs for the state is pondering whether it could be accessioned somehow into the museum collection and become a different work than it is. So no, we're allowing it to have a life and see what its life will bring to it.
Splashing around in the water, and suddenly the turkeys jump in with their nose and they start picking up the air. Well, the light shoes are very dirty, so they started swimming. After a while, it's like, kind of calm down. She gets out of the water, and she couldn't believe it when these deer approached her, and these deer had on their backs
The biennial lasts for about 6 months out of every 24. So the remaining 18 months a year, we program ourselves. We like to do first one-person shows in America very much. Recently did one with a Viennese artist, Hans Schabus, who came and did a really great site-specific piece that filled the whole building, of course books and so on. So that's really a focus of ours, to work with people who are just on the verge of something really exciting, and we have quite a well-equipped workshop and really great staff that works with artists to do new commissions. So that's a big part of what we do. But we also do group shows of various kinds. We have a very lively program of lectures, performances, musical presentations, the whole gamut of stuff. And as you mentioned, we do take our groups, our patron groups, on all sorts of trips. Of course, we've been to Miami, Basel, and in that crazy scene. Recently, we went to the Berlin Biennial. We went over, of course, for Venice and Documenta and the whole kit and caboodle, and even out to Cologne and Düsseldorf, and we get around a fair amount. We serve a huge number of children here in northern New Mexico in lots of different ways, and not many people are aware of this fact because much of it happens outside of our own building. But we send educators into the public schools, and they do in-depth workshops with kids, meeting with them many times throughout the year before the students come to see what's on here at Santa Fe. It's a program called Visual Thinking Strategies, which was pioneered first at MoMA about 25 years ago. And essentially what the children are taught is how to make meaning for themselves when they look at an image, rather than teaching them by rote who made what in what year. they're invited to look closely at works of art and to, by themselves, find things and build their own stories from what they see. And we find that this is a great way of working with young students, and it empowers them to feel welcome and entitled to look at things in any museum in the world. So we're quite proud of that program. We also have an extensive program with teenagers, our young curators and young critics program. These are students who do an open call for high school age artists entries from all around the West, and organize 2 shows a year that are quite well done, actually. And we find that they're very well prepared to go on to higher education and in art history and curatorial studies.